Welcome to Goon Squad's Decentralized News, where we cover this week's biggest stories affecting the crypto economy. I'm your host, Piter, joined as always by Aussie. Welcome in, my good friend.
Hello, hello. Happy Monday or happy Tuesday to those watching the show.
Yeah, happy Monday. We're sitting, let me briefly, we're going to do headlines. There's some big stories out of China and the U.S. This whole pumped up fun drama we're going to get into. Polygon meme update, of course. Goon Squad presents, touch on macro, and a speed run through the Cryptoverse. We are sitting at, God, I think they hit 94K, 95K. Little drawback, even though MicroStrategy has announced buying 5.4 billion. I couldn't even really believe this headline. Like, it's just, this number just gets bigger every time they buy, it seems.
Yeah, he seems to always find more liquid.
Wow, you know what I mean? But still, Bitcoin is struggling with 100K, and it seems like the final boss emerged in Kramer. He came out and said, right when it was like at 99 and a half, just, buy Bitcoin, buy, you know what I mean? And then sure enough, we've been down for 3 days. Although, you look at the dip overall,
it's nothing compared to the performance since election day. Since November 5th, Bitcoin has been more or less up and to the right.
And I guess it seems real, but there's some sell pressure around 100K. It's a big psychological number. I think it'll be a big deal for, for retail. Just this is a legitimate asset to invest in. I think it'll be a big deal for this cycle.
Yeah, I mean, since election day, Bitcoin's up 48 point something percent if we go from bottom to peak. So when we hit 99.7, so realistically, that's way outperformed the S&P. It's way outperformed everything in 3 weeks. Having a little bit of a pullback is not a bad idea.
I wouldn't be surprised to see even more of one. I mean, we get, large percentage pullbacks throughout bull runs, 20, 30.
I think retesting the area where we stagnated for about a week between 87 and 90, 91 kind of thing, that's totally reasonable for us to come back there, make sure that's solid before we look any higher. I was on a live stream about everyone was thinking 100K Bitcoin that night, and it didn't happen. Yeah. But 100, there's going to be some people that didn't believe in Bitcoin who maybe bought the top last cycle, might have been waiting for 100K or right around 100K to just, I held it for 2 years or 3 years. I'm out, I'm in money, I made my money, I'm good. So it wouldn't surprise me if some of that happens as well. But I think, 100K is just a big mental barrier.
Yeah, it's exciting to watch it unfold. The other big news came out of China. There was a court ruling that was getting a lot of play on crypto Twitter. So let's dive into what happened. A recent ruling by the Shanghai People's Court has clarified that owning cryptocurrency is not legal in China. A November 18th judgment established that digital assets have property attributes under Chinese law. However, their use is strictly limited to personal ownership as commodities, not legal tender or investment. The judge delivered this clarification while handling a case involving 2 companies disputing an initial coin offering, an activity deemed illegal in China. The judge explained that Chinese law does not explicitly prohibit holding cryptocurrencies. However, there's strict regulation from the People's Bank of China and other authorities strictly control crypto-related business activities. So not all positive, but the judge also said that individuals can legally possess cryptocurrencies, but crypto investments trading prohibited.
Especially for businesses.
Yeah, basically good for individual holders, but not like this huge push like we're seeing maybe on the U.S. side. That's the excitement, right? There's a lot of traditional investments.
Yeah, institutional investment, it's essentially saying institutional investment or business level investment that we're seeing in the U.S. is illegal in China, but the individual right to own Bitcoin or Ethereum or anything else seems to be at least positively viewed or protected under Chinese law, which is what got everyone so bullish. There was that excitement that, China's back in the market. I think China is back in the market, but maybe not as strongly yet as they could be. This ruling really only came out about a week ago, and I think it only made itself in the mainstream media about halfway through last week. Maybe it hasn't necessarily made the rounds yet, and that will still take.
And there's some pluses and minuses in there, so we'll see. And China feels like they could just change their rules whenever they need to. The thing very centralized. They could grab the reins and take control at any time, it feels like. So we'll see what happens there. But it is more positive in the U.S. Gary Gensler, we talked about it last week, that he might be resigning. He officially did, or announced he will be officially. But also SEC Commissioner Jamie Lizarraga to resign in January. So this is another of the, I believe it's 7 commissioners. He voted against approving the spot Bitcoin ETF. So the
I think it's 5. There's 5 commissioners, and
5.
yeah,
it's an odd number. I remember that. But,
yeah, he had also voted against approving the ETF, so he was one of the 2 no votes. I forget who the other no vote was. It was another Democrat, but yeah, that's pretty bullish in my eye. I think in everybody's eye it was bullish. The fact that Gary Gensler was resigning, that isn't surprising. We talked about it last week, everyone expected that, but to see an additional commissioner resigning who had a negative stance on crypto, that's bullish for the market.
Well, Liz Warren got reelected, so she's in there for 6 more years for the Senate, so she would have to resign.
She's old enough that she could accidentally have a heart attack.
No, don't even say that.
I know, it's terrible, but
that's some pumped up fun stuff right there.
Oh, God, I'm gonna become a pump.fun meme, aren't I? For saying that. I'm sorry. Or OneMarkets meme. I feel bad, but just she's.
If people do resign, it's possible. I'm gonna hold out hope for Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah, that's it. On the positive U.S. side, and actually one last thing on China, the big thing, this ruling against businesses might make it hard to onboard for Chinese users. That's the one thing you got to take into consideration. OKX does have a Chinese variant essentially that allows China to onboard. It's like a whole separate side of the site, and so I don't know if this is a good or bad thing for them in terms of being able to allow people to onboard in China or not. So worth considering, just the consideration of business. But looking at the US and the positive side, what we're seeing is...
Let's get into some game theory news here.
Oh, God. This is, I think, probably the most interesting story to me because of the game theory news that we're going to, because a Bitcoin miner, Marathon Holdings, or Mara, is their ticker on the, I think it's the NASDAQ, isn't it?
I'm not sure, but I think they are the largest publicly traded company, if not the U.S., the world. They're a big one.
Yeah. So they just announced that they were buying 5,771 Bitcoin for about $573 million. It was done at an average price of about $95,500 per Bitcoin, which is just above today's current prices. So that was a big recent buy. That is insane. A miner is buying Bitcoin. It's a publicly traded miner, but the largest miner has decided they are not mining enough Bitcoin, and so they're buying more Bitcoin. In their most recent offering of stocks, they had raised about $1 billion. So they're taking over half. They're taking almost 60% of that raise. And
just putting it into Bitcoin as a treasury asset, copying MicroStrategy, which is the really exciting part of it too, is this growing sense of companies seeing this as a great asset for their treasuries.
Yeah, they're really using convertible notes. They mirror MicroStrategy's approach, and they're seeing what this does. And I think
they're using the other half of that money to grow
their mining.
Business.
Yeah, so that they're
pretty exciting.
They're literally going after Bitcoin in the 2 ways possible: buying it on the open market and mining more of it. I'm pretty excited about this. Miners and MicroStrategy alongside Coinbase are probably your 3 ways to get in Canada to get access to Bitcoin through not without buying the ETFs and in your non-taxable accounts. Because your taxable accounts, you can't hold Bitcoin or the Bitcoin ETFs. So miners and Coinbase and MicroStrategy are a really great play if you're in Canada. So
you're not the only one who thinks it's a great bet. Alliance is Europe's second largest insurance company, and they can't buy Bitcoin or the Bitcoin ETF, and they participated quite heavily. They bought nearly 25% of MicroStrategy's recent convertible note offering, marking basically they were getting into MicroStrategy because they can't get into Bitcoin. is a substantial endorsement of Bitcoin by a major financial institution. Almost 25% of the offering.
And that offering was $2.6 billion. So
Right.
you're talking about
I
essentially...
think it was the one before this one. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I think it was the one before this morning. But that essentially means they bought at least $500 million.
And on that one, I think he made it a bigger offering, like in the middle of it, because there was just so much demand for it. MicroStrategy did.
Yeah, exactly. So that's huge. That is absolutely huge for Bitcoin, because insurance are in the business of making money. And compared to Marathon, which they were already in speculative assets, like they're minor, this is like a safe money play.
Much more conservative looking company.
Yeah. So this is huge, and they're not a small company either. It's not like a lot of the other stories even from last week where they are small. They were like medium small size companies. This is the second largest insurance company in all of Europe. That's pretty big.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's like the next one. It's Curex Pharmaceuticals. It's a smaller pharmaceutical company, but they just announced they're set to purchase $1 million in Bitcoin for their treasury reserve as a treasury reserve asset. So they had this board meeting, I think it was November 20th, and made the announcement. I don't know if the purchase has been made yet, but just more development on this end. Yeah, a smaller company, like you said, not as big, but exciting nonetheless.
Absolutely. And if you want to track some of this stuff just like we do on a daily basis, you can check out treasuries.net, which is really odd website name in terms of .net. No one uses those anymore. But you can go there, and they list currently the 139 public, private, and other entities that have bought Bitcoin or the ETFs. And they're constantly adding new information, including the total value that's being held in these private companies. They're a little bit behind, usually by a day. So Sunday, the total Bitcoin holdings that they had were huge. I can't even do it, but it's over 3 billion, I believe. Yeah, it's just about 3 billion.
I've heard you talk about the banana zone.
Yeah.
Is that what I'm seeing at the end of this chart right here?
We're starting to see the banana zone.
That looks like a banana.
Yeah, pretty big upward curve. That's usually the sign of the banana zone. What we've seen.
Game theory banana.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely worth checking out. I discovered it on a live stream on Friday or whatever, and worth checking out. Definitely a useful tool, worth watching for sure. Looking into a little bit more is it Are we going to Polygon, or are we going to go through some other stories?
Or we're going to go to Memecoins, this Pump Fund drama. You want to tell the story or what?
Yeah, let's start with Pump Fun. They really helped kick off this meme cycle in a major way several months ago, back in March, really. But looking at it, they've triggered a lot more drama because they launched live streaming last week. And that really...
It almost caused it to all come crashing down. There was this story, Coinbase is like what you want to watch in the App Store for the bull run. And Coinbase is number 27 right now. So Solana's Phantom wallet, so new retail users are going into a more complicated wallet. That's number 7. And a lot of it's because of these meme coins. And they're celebrating 9 billion in TVL. And it all came crash. Almost all looked like it might come crashing down with this live streaming that they came up with. But yeah, there's all kinds of craziness going on there.
Yeah, the live streaming very quickly madness. I think the story that everyone's very familiar with was the 12-year-old kid who basically he was live streaming and then rug pulled at 30K and made 30K. And then everyone the people that got rug pulled pumped the token till I think it was like his stake would have been like $3 million or something at that point had he not sold. And he's got a very famous picture. Someone screen grabbed him flipping off the camera.
It's going to be even more famous now there's no more live streams, huh?
Yeah, that's it. And this was pretty interesting. So that was one story, and I think that's the story that's made its way through the media the most.
There was all kinds of craziness in like the last 24 hours. It was like people threatening to kill people, sitting on the toilet until their price pump, people doing like child abuse things until the price pumps, people like
Fighting.
threatening to harm themselves. I won't go into the details, but all kinds. It started off like, oh, weird stuff and maybe pornographic or whatever. It's okay. And then it just got really, really
violent,
diabolical.
Yeah.
Pretty fast. You know what I mean? This is going to end bad. You know?
Yeah. And it all happened within the span of less than a week. It got really bad. And the fact was, like, that kid's picture, my brother and his roommate, who know very little about crypto other than the fact that I'm involved and that I believe in crypto and meme coins and stuff like that, they had heard about this kid. They had seen this kid's picture, and that was not painting a good picture for memes. Actually, in some conversations that I was having with deep meme coin people, they were like, "Is this the top signal for memes?" The fact, it definitely felt like it.
How crazy it was getting. Yeah, it looked. Like the whole FTX and how that crashed. It was like, this is so ugly. Like, it can get so bad. It can be such a black eye on the community in general. Oh, this is what you're bringing to the market?
Yeah. So this was like really not good.
Spinning out of control.
Yeah.
Bad. Yeah, fast. But they took it down. So they announced this morning, like, that they took it down. Knock on wood. Hopefully nothing truly bad. There was some bad stuff I think that already happened. But yeah, hopefully they learned a lesson there. Oh my gosh. It was a little scary. I'm glad they took it down.
Yeah. Just as like a human, it was terrifying to see. Not even just.
I'm all for open markets and freedom of expression, but that was just getting dangerous.
That was getting very dangerous. Like, it really unlocked another beast, because it was like taking OnlyFans and like those and some other like dark web sites, and then adding even more financial incentive to it, because it's like not just
bringing
like
the black market into the light.
Yeah, because these people could buy 2-3% of their token and say, I remember, I think one of the guys that was like, wouldn't get off a toilet till the token hit 100 million or something. And it's, if he even bought 1%, he just made like, and he sold at the top, he made $1 million. You, as a creator on any platform, or on most platforms, maybe some dark web stuff, that's not the case. But that making $1 million is hard to do. This allowed people to get on very quick sprees from a couple $100 to $1 million or whatever very fast. It was just insanity, and I'm really glad it did get taken down. And this is,
you could see law enforcement getting involved, like FBI just confiscating the website, or I don't know, you know what I mean? Like,
just tracking all of these individuals down. There's at least a few of these individuals that probably should be tracked down.
Yeah, they're breaking laws in their jurisdictions. So and from what I read about it, like, they weren't trying to hide their identities very well or anything like that. They have their own consequences for their own actions. But yeah, anyway, just to see that kind of behavior was a little frightening, and I'm glad to see it.
Yeah, glad to see it went down. Just talking briefly on Solana. Solana's TVL has now hit 9 billion on this hype a little bit, like riding some of the high and of what happened, of all the activity related to the live streaming. But that's a good thing for Solana to be slowly catching up to Ethereum in terms of total value locked. That being said, like, this degeneracy actually had Polymarkets prediction market have Pump Fund at a 97% chance of being banned in the US by the end of the year. And I think had they not acted, it would. I agree. I think now that they've taken down live streaming, it might be more 50-50, but it could have done that. It did a lot of damage in the world and just like in public image, I think.
Yeah. Using Polymarket, we can probably transition into the Goon Squad presents a meme coin update. Goon has been showing some strength, looking like it has blue chip potential among these memes. They're up quite a bit lately.
Yeah, they're up about 65% in the last 4 days, and I saw a bunch of buys go in while we were recording, so I don't know. It could be even higher right now. And then it's been up just over 100% in the last 10 days, so that's pretty incredible. And on top of that, their bond, which was going to fund marketing, is 72% sold out, which was a way to get discounted Goon. And so, but between what we've been seeing in terms of price action and what we're seeing in terms of the bond, that's just more and more good news for Bond, for Goon, and what's going on for their marketing. Once
Yeah, they
the
have never had a marketing budget, so that's exciting. Hopefully, this bond sells out.
at 72% sold out, that's really good for Goon. A little bit more to go, but it sold 10% in a day over the weekend. I'm pretty excited to see what that means for Goon moving forward, but you can see that they are taking a bit of a step ahead of the rest of the pack on Polygon, moving at a much faster pace than any of the other new memes right now that seem to be growing, but maybe not quite at this level.
They have that OneMarkets first mover advantage.
Oh yeah, and talking a bit about OneMarkets, their volume, at least of tokens being launched on OneMarkets, has seen a really significant uptick over the last week. There's about 820 tokens or so that have been launched, but I've been watching consistently. Both of us have, because we've been involved in OneMarkets and Polygon memes, and just the sheer number of new tokens that we're seeing being traded and launched has definitely upticked. And so that is worth watching if you're looking at somewhere that maybe is a bit less degenerate than Pump Fun, a little bit less dangerous and scary than Pump Fun, but still got all of that same potential. So
Yeah, it's still definitely got that rug potential while it's still pre-graduation. But I mean, you're right. We're seeing more coins attempt to get, try to graduate, and more coins graduating. Just this week we had Polana, which is Soul on Pole. I got a riddle for you. What meme coin has developed something that you can use Soul to buy Pole to buy Soul?
oh goodness, that is quite the riddle, and that's Pat.
Yeah,
They're
right. I
trading.
mean, it's so easy for us being in the space, but you can take Soul, transfer it over the pole, and then buy this new meme coin, the newest meme coin, Polana, which its ticker is Soul. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So Pat has a trading bot, much like the Bonk bot or any of the other kind of big bots out there. Trojan is another big one on Sol. I don't know what they use on Base, but those two kind of trading bots. But the great thing about Pat is they allow you to not have to worry about all of the bridging. So if you got Sol in your wallet and you just want to buy a couple Sol worth of any of the meme coins on Polygon, you can do that with your Sol, and it will do all the bridging and buying for you. And you can do the same with Ethereum, either on Ethereum or Base. Pretty huge.
and
And
it's fairly untapped. I don't think it's getting used like crazy, but man, this kind of infrastructure is exciting to see and makes me think. One of the reasons I get excited about the potential of the Polygon meme coin space and how it's just hasn't been really been tapped yet.
yeah, and Laz is like the dev is continuing to crank. Not only is he still working on the bot, the trading bot, he's also working on an AI bot, and it's all focused on polymarket data. So polymarket data, like,
So the trading bot, but it's taking bets on Polymarket.
yeah, so this is like an AI bot, or essentially, if you've been watching anything that's going on Base, especially, it's like your AI assistant on chain, your AI agent, and this is along the lines of Goat or Act. The Pat AI bot is scrolling Polymarket data, and it's going to be making bets on Polymarket, and with some of that potential revenue, it's going to burn Pat. So not only can you interact with it on X, but you'll be able to hear what it's talking about in terms of Polymarkets and those bets. So potentially a double way to make money, because you can bet on Pat, and then you can also use the AI bot to place your own bets on Polymarket based on its information. Pretty interesting. But that's not the only other OneMarkets graduate that's got some exciting news. Trine's NFT collection minted out in about 6 days. So that was really exciting. Some pretty exciting one of ones. I didn't unfortunately get any of the one of ones, but I did get a couple of very nice unique NFTs. So that's pretty exciting, and they're still
How many did
holding
you get?
strong.
Did you want to say?
How many did I get?
Yeah.
I minted all 20 that I could.
Oh, 20. Okay, no wonder. Because I only minted 3, but I didn't get like very many good ones. You know what I mean? But still, it was exciting. Good times.
I minted all 20. I had a good amount of try-in, and I really liked what they were doing. So they minted out. I minted 20. I got a few really good unique ones. I'm pretty excited. They're currently running a giveaway, giving away 1 million try-in as part of a celebration of their mint out. So worth watching and getting involved. Try-in has been grinding for 6 months alongside Goon, and I really
They got a nice meme. They got a meme that has got some legs to it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It stays funny after the first try.
Exactly. Gator has announced that they will be at Art Basel.
Where?
At Art Basel, which is going to be in Miami. It's a big crypto conference. It's got 44,000 annual visitors each year go to Art Basel. They're going to be there. The Gator is going to be present, and that's going to be very exciting. So don't miss that. More details will come, but Gator in the Gator suit is going to be there. We'll watch for more details.
The last update was from Spice. They talked about their roadmap a little bit going forward, but before Polygon, they were the newest graduate on OneMarkets, but they're teasing an NFT collection and also play to earn games. So keep an eye out on Spice.
Yeah, keep your eye out on those. Lots more coming in Polygon, and if you've been watching the Polygon price, it has been skyrocketing in the last week. So
yeah, that's not bad for attention. So hopefully the meme coin space will catch on a little bit though.
Oh, yeah, hopefully it brings more eyes to meme coins on Polygon, but Polygon is out there and the meme coin space is doing well. So get in while you can. It is fairly early, but remember, we're not financial advisors. We're just a couple guys talking about meme coins on the internet. So please,
especially when it comes to, I like to think I'm a serious investor, but then I realize, no.
Exactly. We're not. Yeah, look at my portfolio. It's very heavy on memes. Just do your own research. Everything we say is not financial advice. We do believe very heavily in the Polygon meme space, but that doesn't mean that you should listen to everything we say.
Doesn't mean we're right, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Some nice things lining up, and a lot of it has been on the macro side, but it's a little more uncertain right now. We're a ways away from the next Fed meeting, 23 days till the next meeting. And it's like at 55-45, whether we get zero cut or a quarter basis point cut, which is as close as I've seen it in a while. It seems like it's been pretty predictable. So what's the data coming in between now and then? We got GDP this Wednesday. Thursday is the PCE inflation numbers, and next week is unemployment. So that's what's on tap for macro.
Yeah, and those, all of those macro numbers are pretty huge. The big kind of thing for concern, at least that I've seen so far, is PCE numbers. There's right now an expectation that they are going to tick up to about 2.3% year over year. And that is concerning because you really don't want inflation to be ticking up right now. The Fed is worried that they've gone maybe a bit too fast. We want to make sure that we keep that under control. Hopefully PCE comes in under expectations if you are hoping for a rate cut in December. That being said, strong GDP numbers or weak unemployment numbers, so not seeing an uptick in unemployment or seeing GDP hold strong would also not be great news, because you want the Fed to be focusing on their other main goal other than inflation, which is maximum employment. And right now, they might be feeling like maximum employment can take a bit of a side seat to controlling inflation.
All right, and then let's jump right into the speed run. We've got some pretty cool stories down here at the bottom this week. Avalanche's Fuji 9000 will go live today. This is the last step before Avalanche 9000, their largest upgrade ever. Getting close to what potentially could be a catalyst for Avalanche.
Yeah.
Although they've been doing very well.
They have been doing very well, especially
maybe
recently.
It's a Stellar News event.
Could be. Sui, who has also been doing incredible of late, although it's been pulled back a little bit stronger the last few days. They've announced a partnership with digital asset manager Franklin Templeton. Big partnership for them. Same along the lines of what Polygon has done with BlackRock. So worth watching there. StarkNet, they've announced staking for their Stark token, and that's going to be launching next week. If you got some StarkNet in that airdrop, then might be worth staking.
And we got Pendle. Pendle Market goes live on GMX. So it's a Bitcoin Fi, right? GMX, isn't that like a Bitcoin Fi type of network?
No, GMX is built on Avalanche principally, as well as Arbitrum. They're a decentralized trading platform, but they've got some other things. They were really hyped in the bear market, have faltered since then as a lot more competitors have entered the space, but they're still fairly large market in terms of decentralized trading.
We have Coinbase delist wrapped Bitcoin. What's behind that?
Coinbase has their own Coinbase wrapped Bitcoin. It's CBBTC, which is live on Base, Solana, and I think Ethereum. I think are the three that it's live on right now. And so it doesn't have a need for wrapped Bitcoin because it's just a competitor to its own product.
They got a little bit of FUD for this for being a little monopolistic, no?
They did a little bit. Some people are still wondering if wrap BTC is necessary. Like it's still, there's a lot of DeFi products that do use wrap BTC that aren't using Coinbase BTC, but we'll see what happens, especially on chains where Coinbase Bitcoin is not supported yet. This does limit people's options a little bit. And then the last one is Circle, and their USDC and cross-chain transfer protocol has now announced support within Stripe crypto products to launch on Aptos. So we're going to see something with USDC and Aptos and Stripe. So that's pretty good for...
Oh, no, our last one, Sonic, formerly Phantom, their one is launching December. So that's our super last one. So maybe some excitement for Phantom. They're not going away quietly. But subscribe if you're enjoying the content. Please do your own research. This is not financial advice. We are here for educational, sometimes educational, and entertainment purposes only, sometimes entertaining. Anyway, thanks for joining us this week.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, and we will see you guys next week. Have a nice Thanksgiving for all of our American viewers, and we will see you guys again soon, next week. Bye.